Did you see that newest book that's coming out on the clock, or it came out? Emily Guendelsberger? Reflection on her experience working at Amazon Fulfillment Center and her reflections on working in other places and her arguments about, you know, all the work conditions, all the hours, and everything else. Holy cow. When I hear, oh, it's the millennials. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. I laugh inside, especially when she's like, yeah, so I took a footstep tracker in. I snuck it in. And I checked to see, how many steps I was taking. We were doing 16 miles a day. Damn, while I was in college, I was pushing 20 plus miles a day. And that was just at work. And then I had to go to, classes as well. So, wow. 16. Woo. Yeah, and you're on a time restraint. Okay. You ever work in a machine shop? Especially depending on which process you're on. They have to get parts out, especially if there's due dates, or people don't get paid. So, that's the nature of it. It blew me away watching this, and all I could think is millennial. And I know it's not millennials, it's people. Heck, my wife works with a lady that's, 66 years old, and they're tracking her now because in her work week, she only pulls in about 9 hours worth of work on average that they've been documenting for a while now. Because she just sits on her phone on Facebook and does other things, walks away, goes talks with, other employees. She doesn't just sit down and do her job. And the other people are having to pick up the slack. And so they went and, pulled the reports. What's your, how long you're on the program, what you're doing and everything else. It does a very good breakdown of it. One, because of security client limits. So they're only allowed so many people on it at said time, so they can track all that. And with the job that they do, that's a good thing, because if they screwed up, a lot of people would be filing lawsuits, if you will. I won't say exactly what they do, but yeah. They deal with the public, we'll say. So, hearing this and everything, it just seems like, this lady, I'm sure she's nice, Emily, but, a hard working job, or not so much a hard, but a faster paced job, just isn't for her. She wants something cushy, like writing a book, because, well, I was only at Amazon for, 11 weeks? Holy cow. What about the people that don't get the benefits you get? Because, they have to work to provide for their family and whatnot, and you can't just go from one job to another and then write a book about it and, make claims of, whoo, this was difficult, or, they really work you like a robot. I hate to say this, but in some jobs, as sad as it may sound, you are a robot. Again, work a production line. After a year of that, you're a robot. You do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You can't stress it enough. It's just monotonous work. And there are people out there that really love doing it. Obviously, you're not one of them. And that's okay. But going out and, firing at Amazon, oh, they didn't treat me well. Okay. It was a job, you know. Yeah, they know exactly where you are. You have this amount of time to do a task. When you're done, then a new task instantly pops up. Okay. Production. Just in a different manner. You're not making something, you're going and picking stuff. It's okay. Working in warehouses. Good example, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. I've never worked in one, but my brother-in-law used to work at one. And, his shift didn't start till 6:30, 7 in the morning for dropping off at the, gas stations and stores and whatnot. But he's there at 3:30 in the morning, pulling everything, getting it into the truck. He's doing all that work. Then he gets into his vehicle, drives off, goes, makes the deliveries, you know, um, sets up the orders, just the full routine. And he doesn't get done until 5, 6 in the evening. He does all that. He gets paid very well, but he does all that, and he doesn't complain one bit. When he was doing that job, now he's a entrepreneur doing a lot of other things, but that was a hard job because you had to do a lot of things, and you were under time restraints. If he didn't make it to certain areas at certain times, then he'd have to wait and readjust his route. Because some places would say, "Hey, we can't receive orders until, or from this time to this time," and if he was delayed, he'd have to make those adjustments and everything else, cater to his clientele, or he'd lose money. Cater to, the people buying the product that he was being paid to deliver. It's the nature of business. It's the nature of work. Hell, with my business, I have to look at what is selling, and then I make my orders and send them out. The products I look for are the ones that are active, not the ones that just sit stagnant. I mean, if that's the case, I can, I'll just throw money around. Hey, who cares? I don't know. When I see stuff like this and it's on TV, I really have to laugh. And it's like, oh, I worked too hard. Holy cow. Really? Okay. I can't stress it enough, and I'll say it really clear. Y'all some lazy people. I was gonna cuss, but yeah, I don't need to get that point across. Yes, there are things that you don't like. Holy cow. Not every job is, rainbows and Skittles. I don't know. Some of these people. I hope the next generation, like my daughter's generations, I hope they actually have a good work ethic. I know I'm working with her on it. She helps me with work. And sometimes she's up when I'm up. It's 6 in the morning right now. And yesterday I went to bed at 2 a.m.? So, yeah. Obviously, she doesn't stay up that long because of how young she is. But she helps me out throughout the day. And she gets paid for it. Cookies. Cheap labor. You want to fix the issue with China? Oh, child labor laws. Cookies. Kids love cookies. I'm only kidding. And, far different. I'm not making her do blood, sweat, and tears worth of labor. Hey, can you go hand me that piece of paper off the printer? Thank you, Cookie. Okay, here you go. See, actually, I think I'm overpaying her. I might have to cut that back. Yeah, I hope this new generation does a much better job of not complaining about really stupid things. You know, if it was a dangerous environment, okay. If it was was it unsanitary, which would be under the dangerous rating, yeah, you know, make those complaints. But just, oh man, I'm on my feet 11 hours. Go be a nurse. They're on their feet 11 hours. And it can get to be pretty hectic, you know. Go join the military. You can be on your feet 11 hours carrying a 100-pound backpack out in the weather while being shot at, you know. Again, lazy, lazy, lazy people. I just want to bring this up. I thought it was funny. With that, peace.